Hiya, my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. And today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be my Victober TBR / October TBR. For those of you that don't know, Victober is an annual readathon that is run to celebrate Victorian literature. And yeah, we all get together and read loads of Victorian books and it's loads of fun. And I will link all the hosts and all the prompts and everything in the description. I'm just gonna go through them and then talk about all the hosts, etc. as we go. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the group challenge that they have created, especially this year, which is in memory of my lovely friend Alice and Jennifer from Jennifer Brooks, who both sadly passed away this year. So for this, they've chosen they've got two like prompts, which is Alice's prompt, because Alice loved Sherlock Holmes lots. So Alice's prompt, the prompt in memory of Alice is to read a Sherlock Holmes book or like short story or something. And then for Jennifer, it is to read a Wilkie Collins book. So because obviously Jennifer loved Wilkie Collins. So yeah, so for this, I have been luckily enough to be gifted the lovely people at the Audrey app, which I speak about the Audrey app all the time in my videos. They kindly gifted me one of their books, which they gifted me Study in Scarlet. So they gifted me the audiobook for it, and the wonderful thing about the Audrey app is, so it's basically the perfect app for like classics lovers, because obviously you have the story of the book, and then they've got character lists, and also like they also have a guide that comes along with it. So basically it's kind of like that basically gives you all the behind the scenes. So you know that friend, whenever you're reading a book that gives you extra information about all the like origins and the extra nuggets of information about a book that you want to know, it's like having a friend like that, but just all in one app, and it just all one place. So it's just honestly, it's just like my favorite way to listen to classics. I've got numerous books from the audio app that I've purchased myself with my own money. They're not expensive, they're a lot cheaper than other like audio book providers that you get, especially the main ones that you guys know, and yeah, they're just, honestly, it's just the best way to listen to them. So yeah, check out, I will obviously, again, with the Audrey app link, I'll link so in the description where you can buy Audrey books. Like I said, it's a very small independent business and they need our support, so yeah, check it out in the description. And thank you Audrey app for sending me and gifting me the book. I have also got a physical copy that my lovely friend gifted me, the lovely Tessie from Mad Chatty and the Mad Chatter gifted me this. So I'll be listening to my Audrey app book and also whilst reading the physical copy. So thank you Tessie for gifting this to me, I love you lots. So that's that. And then for my Wilkie Collins book, I've chosen, I'm going to also hopefully listen to, is going to be A Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I read and loved The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins, and I think I also audiobooked and read the physical book. That is like one of my favourite ways to read classics, because I feel like I process them more, because sometimes it's nice to have the physical copy to sort of read alongside it to reference. But yeah, so I know hopefully I will enjoy A Woman in White as well, because it's another one of his famous books. So yeah, the next challenge I'm going to talk about is Kate's challenge, which is to read a Victorian book where religion is a component of the story. And for this, I have got The Rector by Margaret Oliphant, images on screen. This is one that my lovely friend Charlie told me about, and it was completely free. So if you have an e-reader, I downloaded it on Kindle, but maybe if you've got another ebook provider, I'm sure this is one that you can probably find for free, because it's extremely short. It's an extremely short story. It's like 31 pages. It's the first book in the Chronicles of Carlingford series, and obviously there is a rector who sets his sights on Lucy Woodhouse, I believe, or he somehow comes across Lucy Woodhouse and I'm guessing falls in love with her. I think this is pretty much the story of it. I do not know because I've not read it. Yeah. The next challenge is I've got on here is Katie's challenge, obviously our lovely Katie from Books and Things, and hers is to read a Victorian book that plays with form in some way, so I guess like letters, diaries, and obviously all of the hosts as well, another thing to add, have loads of recommendations on their channels and their videos, so obviously I'm sure most of you will know that, so if you need recommendations for any of these challenges, obviously check out the hosts, as I said. So the one I've got, which again I'm going to listen to on the audio app, this is one I paid for myself, but I've also got the physical book again, is Dracula by obviously Bram Stoker. I read this quite a few years ago, I think like possibly 2019. It was early doors in my Victober listening, and I definitely did listen to it read it for Victober. So obviously in this we follow Jonathan Harker, who travels over to Transylvania and meets with Count Dracula, and because he's helping him buy a house, I think in the UK, if I remember rightly, and it's something, and obviously the story sort of follows along from here. The thing I remember most about it when my first reading experience of this was how beautiful the like descriptions were of like the setting descriptions, and the landscapes and like, yeah, all of that stuff. So yeah, I just remember how beautiful I thought this was, and it really, yeah, I can't wait to reread it, and I can't wait for obviously to listen to it and get all the extra nuggets of information from the audio app. So yeah, yeah, I'm excited to get to this one, and plus it's not like, even though obviously this book looks really chunky, obviously because it's a one of the Penguin Clothline classics, it's got loads of extra bit stuff at the beginning and the end, so it's not actually very long at all, quite accessible, and it's got it obviously has lots of letters in it, which is why it's for that prompt. Right, the next prompt is the lovely Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, and that is to read a Victorian work that was originally serialised. Now, a lot of Victorian books were originally serialised, and it's really easy to check, you just Google them. For this, I wanted to read a Hardy this Victober ideally, because for those of you that don't know, I read my first Hardy this year. I read Far From the Madding Crowd, and it's actually my favourite book of the year so far, and I just literally love that book with my whole heart. Part of me is tempted to listen to it, but no, I think for this prompt I'm going to choose Tess of the D'Urbervilles, because this is one that the lovely Roz, who I'll get to in a minute, and lots of other people as well have been telling me to read for a long time. So yeah, I'm gonna, again, hopefully potentially try and listen to this, or maybe read it physically, I don't know. I've also got Jude the Obscure that my lovely friend Jack gave me, so I might try that one. If not, we will see. I think I want to try to get to Tess. This is obviously this book is the story of Tess's life, and I think it's obviously Thomas Hardy's probably arguably most famous book, so yeah, it's definitely one that I need to get to. I don't need to get to it, but yeah. Right, so the lastly but not leastly is the wonderful Roz, who from Scally Landing About the Books, and hers is to experience Victorian drama, and that is to read, watch or listen to a Victorian play. I mean, there are loads of ones that I could get to, but I want to stick to something easy because October, for those of you that don't know, is my birthday month, and I just want to have something like a reread. I feel like a reread is necessary in October, so I've gone for Oscar Wilde, one of Oscar Wilde's plays. This is one of a bind up I got a few years ago for my birthday, and I'm going to listen to The Importance of Being Earnest. And again, I read this did I reread it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but it's a very humorous play, and again probably one of Oscar Wilde's most famous, and yes, very short. So yeah, that's what I'm going to listen to. No, not listen to. Read. That's what I'm going to read. So yeah. So those are all the books I'm going to read for Victober. I'm super excited to try and read as many as I can. I may not get to all of these. I'll just do my best. So the next bit I'm going to talk about is the rest of my October TBR, just pile of possibilities that I want to get to. There is another readathon being run in October. I mean, I'm sure there are multiple readathons being run in October, but the next readathon that I want to be taking part in, that I try and take part in, is Gothtober, and this is hosted by my lovely friend Olivia and also Hannah and Tish. And for this, they always create like a game that you can go on, and I did that earlier, and I've got a load of prompts, so I'll show you the prompts that I've got on screen. And normally what I do for this is I kind of pick my TBR as I go, because again it sort of means I'm not weighed down by a TBR in my birthday month. Again, I want to read by whim mostly, apart from my October books, which I sort of use as a guide. But yeah, some of the books I will mention next will fit into this. I've got the next book, so that's that I wanted to mention. The next thing I'm going to read is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. This is one for the FOMO book club that I join in, and this is hosted by the wonderful Jem from Gem of Books, my lovely friend, and my lovely friend Jack from Spread Book Joy. So yeah, they've picked a spooky book, and I have got the physical copy working its way to me imminently. And yeah, it's obviously very spooky, and it's basically kind of like an IKEA catalogue, but obviously with the horrible horror story told within it. And yeah, scary books aren't normally my thing, but I'm up for trying it, so all out of my comfort zone, you know. So yeah, that's that one. Then the next thing I want to try and do is my Ben Reads Good prompt, which I've been doing all year successfully. And for the prompt for this for October's prompt is October, so to pick it's like an ugly cover kind of thing, book with an ugly cover. I feel a bit mean calling anything ugly, to be clear, but there is a book that I wanted that I think could fit into it, I'll say. So this is not an ugly cover, and actually it's in fact quite striking. I love the red on it. But and also I'm going to probably try and squeeze this into one of the Gothtober prompts, because it's kind of it's like a spy thrillery kind of book. So this is book 1 in the Slow Horses series. This is one that there's a television show about and this book was gifted to me last birthday by my lovely friend Alice. So yeah, I do not think this book is ugly, but obviously it's on the slightly plainer side, and I really want to read it in October, and I wanted to sort of squeeze this into the prompt, so I don't really know. There is another option I will show you in a second that could also fit, a book that could fit for the October prompt. But yeah, this is the book I am prioritising for October. So yeah. Right, the next things, there's 2 other things I normally do and read type of books that I read in October. I always like to try and read a James Baldwin, because I've done that the last 2 previous years, so this will be my 3rd year. And I've got Another Country by James Baldwin, and I don't really know too much about this, but it's probably it will be the biggest Baldwin that I would have read. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. So yeah, that's that one. And then also another thing I like to do, and again I will probably squeeze into a Gothtober prompt, which is normally what I tend to do, is it's the 5th in the Death Note books, and I've got these lovely cool black editions. The story by Sugumi Oba and illustrated by Takashi Obata. And yeah, this is just very, very creepy, and yeah, it's the 5th in the series, and I'm sure most of you know about Death Note, but Death Note is basically, there's a book that is dropped to Earth by these demons, falls to Earth by these accidentally by these demons, and if you write in the book, if you write a name, whoever name gets written in the Death Note books, people will die yeah, and it's like, so this is something I read. I do need to finish the rest of the book because I've got another one upstairs, so as well. So yeah, either which way, excited to get to this. And then lastly, but not leastly, I got my husband to pick a book from my shelves randomly because I wanted him to choose a book for me to read, ideally. And this is the other book that I think probably is actually more ugly, arguably, than Slow Horses. And this is Nesting by Rosanne O'Donnell. This is one that I got at the Women's Prize Live this year, free in one of the goodie bags. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's definitely more ugly than Slow Horses, but yeah. I'm not really sure about this one. I think it's like a woman has left her family, and I think it's Irish, obviously, with the name. Like I'm fairly certain the author's Irish. So yeah, I think this is right, and it's not coming out till next year, so that's quite cool. Yeah, it says an unforgettable new voice. So yeah, then on the back it says, leaving is one thing, staying away is another. Yeah. So that is that. So that is that. Let me know what you guys are reading in October. Are you joining in Victober? Are you joining in Gothtober? I will leave all the hosts and everybody that I've spoken about in the description. The next video by me will be up next week, and it will be my video with Charlie, my autumn books, I think it's right. Like, yeah. So there are other books to sort of like that you will be seeing that I want to also read potentially in October. So yeah, check that out. I will potentially, future Charlie will try and remember to link that in the description if anyone is watching in the future. So yeah, I hope you guys are well. Take care and sending you lots of love. Bye bye.